A series of sessions, each with a unique concept, where global delegates interacted with city stakeholders, mayors, decision makers, academics and women and youth groups, marked the 11th Metropolis World Conference. One such session was the hackathon, the first of its kind to be held in India to enable citizen participation in urban development. The theme of the hackathon was social innovation through digital technology, and finalists were selected through a three-phase approach. 390 teams first registered through the internet with 200 ideas. From these 200 ideas, 20 finalist teams were then selected for the final hackathon, where the 5 best winning solutions were awarded. These 5 solutions will receive support and incubation by the government of Telangana and the Indian School of Business.
Basically what we're doing here is we're engaging youth to solve urban problems through mobile technology. Okay? We use technology as a tool, as a vehicle to solve social issues.
One of the award-winning solutions was that of a central repository that compulsorily tracks all child sex abuse cases, providing academic and childcare organizations a readily accessible internet database of registered child sex offenders.
What we have done with Aasha is to provide such schools and other places where children go and play, or children are involved, any other place of contact with children, any other organizations, right? We have provided them a platform where they can do a quick background lookup of such people before they take them on board.
Followed by a web conference conducted by Microsoft, the hackathon ultimately covered 15 focus areas with potentially innovative solutions, including public transportation, urban mobility, sanitation and waste management systems, and various safety surveillance systems. One of Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's key initiatives was to recently announce that the Telangana government would strive to make Hyderabad a slum-free city and construct 2-bedroom flats in place of shanties. The Housing for All session held special importance at the conference, as it discussed the various models of housing that have been successful both in India and globally, and concluded that to make housing for all a reality in Hyderabad by 2022,
the urban issue, the urban challenge is very critical. If you want to kind of maintain 8%, 9%, 10% growth rate, we know very well the cities are the engines of economic growth. We require productive, we require efficient cities, and unless we manage our cities well, we won't be able to kind of cross that milestone. So it's very critical.
Another key session was the Redefining Urban Agenda session, themed Big Data, Big Ideas, Big Challenges. Its aim was to look at how data collected from various recent surveys held in Hyderabad effectively and sustainably better the lives of its citizens.
Here we are here to talk about big data, big ideas and big challenges. We had the opportunity to make a clean slate beginning. We had the opportunity to make a fresh beginning. And our Chief Minister, Honorable Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao, is a firm believer in the fact that good data, accurate data is imperative to actually make a change right at the grassroots level. He believes firmly that a government needs to think, the government needs to design, government needs to define, design, and then go ahead and deliver services to citizens.
The global market for big data is today estimated to be upwards of $16 billion, and with an increasing demand from citizens for transparency, efficiency, mobility and social services, many cities across the world have already opened up and connected their IT infrastructures to existing ecosystems.
We are looking at the possibility of using big data. In fact, we've done 2 important things. One was called participatory planning exercise called My Village, My Plan, My Town, My Plan. It was supposed to ensure that we actually align the expectations of the people with that of the budgetary planning of the government, to ensure that the people actually participate in the budget planning of the government. And that's something very ambitious that we've done. And secondly, we've also done an intensive household survey, which was one of its kind, which was very unique. We've gone about covering more than 1 crore households in one day, covering more than 3.6 crore people in one day. Now we are sitting on a repository of huge data. We're going to use this data to ensure we provide better citizen services by way of offering value propositions through mobile governance, through e-governance, by way of ensuring that our budget is in line with the expectations of the people. So there are a number of initiatives that are being planned. Number of issues that we can resolve by virtue of learning from the best practices adopted in cities like Barcelona and other cities, where basic citizen services are done right. We'll surely adopt them, ensure that most of these plans which are on the drawing board today actually come to fruition.
The 100 Smart Cities India session sought to bring together major stakeholders of urban development and e-governance from across the world and to assist the Indian government in their ambitious mission to develop 100 smart cities across the nation.
From our perspective, smart cities are not about technology. Smart cities have to be, as the Secretary said, about people. India is a blossoming, not nation, is a blossoming culture, civilization. You don't know what you have in your hands. You have the most thrilling society all over the earth, the biggest democracy in the world. So please, I think that you have to be very proud of what you're doing in this country, and that's why we come here to learn from you.
So what makes a city smart? What makes a city inclusive? I don't think those things are incompatible. I think great cities are inclusive because they think about all citizens and not a digital divide or a physical divide between the haves and the have-nots. Because cities are about the soul of the city, and the soul of the city requires everybody's inclusiveness. So a great smart city thinks about how do I offer the best services, the best governance to everybody, the citizen, current and future. So that's the first way. And then technology is just the one that enables those services. Now, an event such as this, which brings in 2,500 people from multiple countries, like 80 countries, bring in different perspectives, different experiences, not everything will exactly fit what we have to do in Hyderabad. But an idea, a kernel of an idea is what you look for. And also the exchange of ideas at coffee, the exchange of ideas between people. This is also a form of citizen participation, business participation, government participation, to bring everybody together saying this is an important topic. We don't quite know exactly what to do, but we have to get started. Where do we get started? How do we get to where we need to go? And how do we know whether we got there? So I think this is the beginning of a journey. In itself, it doesn't do much, but it allows us to get started. It allows us to have common language and allows us to think about common issues and best practices.
Coming up after the break, the impact the 11th Metropolis World Congress Conference is expected to have to the Telangana government's vision for the future of Hyderabad.